So you think Miro is just about creating sticky notes? Well, guess what? It's about a lot more. My name is Philip, and in this tutorial, I will show you how to use Miro for remote collaboration. Let's dive in. For this exercise, I did jump to my own paid plan because I'll be using some features that are only available for our paying Miro users. But I want to show you how I created this design sprint board, and I want to show you the following. As you can see here in the top right, there is a present mode. And there are actually a few different things to keep in mind. You may notice that there's quite a lot of visual stuff going on, but there's nothing more than a couple of frames who are, well, have some unique ratios, that's for sure. But as you can see here in the bottom left, I actually gave an order to these frames. Because like with any proper workshop, there is a step-by-step program that you go through. So this is an alternative way of navigating. If I click somewhere on these frames here on the left side, you can see that I automatically scroll to that part in the board. If I press the present mode, it will go full screen, which I will have to escape to exit. But you can see here now in the bottom that I have a lot simpler navigation. And this is ideal when facilitating workshops. So once you're in the present mode, you'll actually start with the first slide. From here, I can simply click next frame. When you're in the present mode, all the workshop participants will actually follow your movement. Here you'll see a PDF that's actually included inside the Miro board that people can scroll through. From a design perspective, I went ahead and created some sort of a theater or at least a proper display for the presentation. But besides navigation and including a PowerPoint or a slide deck, let's continue to the first exercise. This is called the Research Lab. In a way, it is the same as a problem framing session, but here we're simply creating how might we's. As you can see, every participant has their own section, and I would highly recommend you to personalize these sections with the names of the participants so they feel more welcome. But as a facilitator, how do you go about this? Here in the bottom you see Timer, Voting and Tools. Once I open up this window, I will select Timer, and now you can see the timer that we talked about in the previous exercise. I will set the timer for 3 minutes and go with a chill beat. Once I press play, all the participants will see and hear this timer. Now, as you can see in the top right, I can say I want to add 1 more minute to the timer, maybe even 5. I can pause it and I can even stop the timer. So, once everyone filled in their how might we's, we can drag them to the center. Let's say now that we have quite a few how might we's here. Perhaps we need to group them, but for now, I want to get some interaction going. So I'm asking the participants to cast their votes. Once again, I open the Tools menu and I go into Voting. The workshop facilitator will get this UI, which the workshop participants won't see. I can move around this selection and here select Sticky Notes. So what happened? I shrunk the voting area to only include items within this area. To be sure that people can't select shapes, images, text or cards, I clicked the sticky notes. Now that we've got that covered, let's talk about the voting itself. I will say that each participant will have 2 votes and they will have 1 minute to cast their vote. If you want to go into the nitty-gritty, you can even say that participants can only cast 1 vote per object. Keep in mind, if I enable this, for example, now I have asked everyone to cast 4 votes, but you can see that there are only 3 sticky notes available. This, of course, will be a problem. For now, I will leave it on 2, and they can vote however they want. Once I press start, all the participants will see that I started a voting session. People can click Join Voting, and just like I do now, they will see this option. In the top right, I can see that I have 2 votes remaining. I will cast my first vote on the first item, and the last one on the last item. But perhaps I'm changing my mind and you say, well, you know what? I don't want to cast my vote on the last item. I actually want to vote twice on the first item. In the top right, you can see that one person, which is now only me of course, has completed voting. While the timer is still going, I can say I'm done, but I can also end the vote for everyone. Once I add the vote, Miro will do some next level calculation and will tell me the outcome of the vote. Since I've only done this by myself now, it's not that spectacular, but with multiple participants, this will become a lot more interesting. Besides the options that I've just shown you, there are a few more ways to interact. For example, in the bottom center we have the reaction menus. You can click a quick thumb, or for example, show that it's fire. Ready to put these techniques to work? Join me in my Domestika course and learn how to go through this process from A to Z.